What went wrong with your last printer? It has a lid you need to open before you can print. You know, where the page would come out. There's supposed to be a sensor that says it's open to the computer. But every 10 seconds it changes its mind and it pauses the print. Also, the pages don't go in straight, so everything comes out a little skewed. It doesn't have drivers for Windows 10. But the ones from Windows 8 still work if you force them via Device Manager. Also, after like 20 pages with new ink it's gone again. I now have a laser printer that actually prints. Wife had an HP inkjet printer that went through cartridges at an alarming rate. But what actually doomed it was the fact that it wouldn't stay connected to anything. Would disconnect itself from Wi-Fi. Would freak out when connected to the computer over USB. And I would be the one that the wife would call to do my technomancer magic to get her documents printed. Every single time. I ended up throwing the printer in a plastic bag and windmilling the bag onto the concrete. I then bought a Canon LaserJet printer and haven't looked back. Been a printer engineer for years. Worked in big corporate companies looking after 70 plus MFDs. Large capacity. Can tell you from my personal experience that 75% of printer issues begin with users. Mostly because they have very limited knowledge on how printers work. I was able to reduce callouts significantly by doing training sessions with users. Saying that, the other 25% was printer assembled on a Friday. I have 2 desktop printers and they have been in use for over 5 years each. It helps to know how to fix them. They get pissed off at reviews that say they haven't used the product they purchased yet? People like this are the reason why poor quality products end up with 5 stars and then other people think it's good so they waste money buying it. Yes, not helpful. Received the blouse today. Have not tried it on yet. Why just why? Or 1 star. The product is good but it was delivered late. Ugh. Also people who've only had it for a week raving about it and giving 5 stars. Always, I think they are either gullible people or fake reviews. Frick yes, just like when people leave a review at a restaurant. Same way. The line was too long. Didn't go in. 1 star. You, sir, are an hate that shit so much. It's kinda along the same lines as the unboxing vids. WTF is the point of that? I can see the contents online. You're just making a vid of yourself removing the trash from the box. So annoying. I think it's because Amazon sometimes pings you got a review pretty quickly and some people, probably older folks, don't understand that you should just ignore the review solicitation if you haven't tried it yet. What drives me even more crazy are people who answer I don't know in the queue. Because Amazon emails out those questions too. To other people who've purchased the product. Make it stop. That pisses me off almost as much as unboxing videos where the person says sorry. I went ahead and opened it just to make sure it worked. But don't worry. Let's pretend like it's my first time seeing this item. Fucking veins are popping in my forehead just thinking about stuff like that. Does reading books for pleasure count as a hobby? Absolutely. Anything you do regularly for pleasure is a hobby. A hobby is defined as an activity done regularly in your leisure time for pleasure. I don't see why reading shouldn't be a hobby. Of course. I'd say watching TV is too. Why wouldn't it be if it's how you like to spend your spare time? Watching TV counts as a hobby lol, so does reading books. Yes it does. And it's a very good hobby. Do you want to count it as a hobby? Then count away. Count Von Count agrees. Yes. Also who says watching TV isn't a hobby? Anything done for pleasure and entertainment is a hobby. Watching TV counts as a hobby for me. Hobby, an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. TV, reading, going to the movie theater, meditation, etc. all count as hobbies in my world. Having a bit of a crisis right now. What do I do? Are you feeling thin? Sort of stretched? Like butter scraped over too much bread? If so, leave. Call in sick. Get a different job. Talk to your boss. Quit. Do coping skills. As someone who did that for 2 years, get out now. Worst job experience of my life, do literally anything else. Greater than my job for this month. For this month, are you jumping between jobs monthly? If you haven't got limitless social energy and a Kanye West ego complex, then it's best to avoid sales jobs. Entry-level sales is the worst of hospitality on non-stop repeat. Men of Reddit. How much attention do you give to women's body hair? I mostly have no issue with body hair as long as the person feels comfortable with themselves. I feel like the Amazon commercial with the girl rocking a stash is good example. Good for her. The confidence works, and even if it is just an ad, I think that message rings true. So whatever. Therese folks that are there for it. For my partner. Ultimately it is up to her, and if I have preferences, and prepared to say what those are. Little peeves/preferences have a way to get bigger as relationships go on. So if you got a problem with human armpit/leg hair on your partner, talk about it. I don't ever notice. But I don't look for it either. In summer I don't mind it if armpits aren't fully kept up with. We're all humans. Although I do find it gross for all genders. Women usually keep it shaven, but we should really push for men to do the same over there. I never asked any of my previous girlfriends to shave any part of their body they didn't want to, except pits. Provided I kept up with them too. I don't care for hairy legs either. If a woman is more comfortable with hairy legs, she should keep them that way. A woman can do whatever she wants with her body hair. I can be attracted to whoever I want based on that too. Not a fan. I'm a hairy dude. I don't want to feel someone else who is hairy. I don't like hairy either and regularly maintain it all. Part of the allure of women is they are so soft. I love it. The last thing I want to feel in a coarse fuzz under my fingers while I'm exploring them. I get it. Shaving and waving comes in cycles, so I'm not gonna get butthurt when it's in between intervals. I will not date someone with hairy legs, pits, or a huge bush.